back in the shop, and if you remember from the last time we messed with the Hurricane Harley, it had a bad starter solenoid. So what I want to do today is I'm going to try and make a DIY emergency start button just to see if I can, and then make sure then I'll be able to start the bike, at least till I get the new parts on order and get them to come in. It's not super easy to get parts out here, so it's going to probably be a while before I can order them and then get them delivered. Like overnight Amazon here is like 3 to 5 days. So what I've done first is I've taken and I marked a spot here. I'm going to drill a hole there, and then I'm going to take this clevis pin that I found and a spring and a cotter pin, and I'm going to attempt to make a spring starter that will return on its own. So I'm going to go ahead and drill this hole and stick this in there. You guys don't have to watch, and then we'll get back and we'll see how it went. All right, so I got the hole drilled, put the spring on it. You can see I put a cotter pin through it. Might have to put a bushing in here. It'll make it slide a little bit easier, but right now it works. It goes in, goes out, comes back to the position that it should. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to go ahead and install it on the bike, and then we're going to see. Again, this isn't like the final iteration of this. I'll probably at some point either thread this or figure out a way to put a knob on the end of it so I can get a good push on it. But it serves the purpose for what I'm trying to do. So I'm going to take this and install it on the bike, and then we'll try it out and see what happens. All right, so here it is installed. I got the cover back on, and here, let me demonstrate what the original problem was. The original problem was when I would hit the starter, it would do that, and that doesn't do anything. It's just the starter bouncing. Now, with this bypass installed, what I could do is, it's not optimal. Remember, this is just like a prototype thing. I shoved it in here just to say, hey, I could do this for free. All right, very little effort. So I went ahead, put that in there. The cotter key kind of hits these lines. Again, this is not the ultimate configuration, but it'll work for now. And then I can go ahead and put my thumb on it and push. Let me see. Need this thumb. And the bike will go ahead and crank over and start. And again, the carburetor probably needs to be cleaned out on this thing, but that just shows that, like, you don't have to go buy these parts. Like, this part was literally 19 bucks. Yeah, it's cheap, and I could have bought it. I could afford it, right? But some people can't. And again, if you're in a place like this where there's a lot of, wait time associated with this, and say this bike was your only way to get around, like, you have to do something. So there is ways around it. Now, I'm not telling people go do this, like, by any means. Like, if you don't think it's safe, don't do it. I have been, wrenching on cars and trucks and bikes and everything since I was a kid. So I kind of take a little bit of, chances with stuff. I'll try something, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But if it works, well, then I'll pass the information on to somebody. And what you do with that information is entirely up to you. But remember, just be safe about it. Make sure you're not breaking any laws, and you're not, like, hurting yourself. Make sure whatever you do to modify anything is within your within your skill set, right? And if you have questions, ask, and nobody can fault you for asking, right? It's better to ask and get some advice than to just plow into something and mess it up. So yeah, that's it. That's the saga of the bike and the free or nearly free bypass button. But yeah, if you like the channel, go ahead and subscribe. And also like us on Facebook and Instagram. So thanks again for watching the show, and appreciate it. We'll see you soon.